and welcome to the Real Biz Show, a news analysis and interpretation program that focuses on real issues that impact our daily lives. We'll inform you on business, politics, and art. But before we begin, let's dive into the news headlines. Safaricom slashes 50% on mobile data charges. Medics set down their tools demanding for CBA pay. And finally, Kenya to set up a nuclear power plant in 2022.
Sema Njoki.
Poa sana mama. Aki mimi sioni nikikuja.
Mbona?
Sitaki hizo maswali za Auntie Mary. Utolewa lini? Siende kulea football team yake achana na maisha watu wengine.
Njoki acha nikupigie.
Mom, tunaweza ongea, niko na Airtel tubonge. Alafu ni Ntishiro napika. Mashakura, I can't. Kazi magina yeye, yoshina na boyfriends tofauti uko na hairstyles funny. Kwa change nayo?
Njoki acha nikupigie.
Uncle John drama.
Nani anasema mimi iko drama?
Mom.
Njoki uko kwa loudspeaker.
Tumia Airtel Tubonge ku make Airtel to Airtel calls bila charges na other networks for 2 bob a minute.
Si uniambie kuhusu hiyo Airtel Tubonge unashinda ukitaja.
This is the final episode where we're going to be doing our mashup of all the 3 episodes, the business, art, and politics. I hope you're going to join me on this interesting journey as we highlight some of the most interesting, educative, informative sections. To start us off, we'll begin with the art episode, which focused on Daystar Talanta. Daystar Talanta is a platform here at Daystar Universities that gives a chance for students to showcase their talents. We interviewed the Secretary General of Daystar University, Mr. Stefan Wendwa, and we also got views from students about Daystar Talanta and what impact it has. We also interviewed experts who gave us their views about talent and how to nurture talent. Let's look at the highlights.
Daystar Talanta has brought different talents together by initiating several events such as Open Mic Night, Daystar Talanta Launch, and the King of the Decks.
I think this is such a good thing for the students because besides them studying, they can get to explore other things such as their talents. Yeah.
You find that most of the members of the Daystar Talanta, rather the committee or the executive committee itself, are the same people who perform majorly in the events they partake. So you find that it's not really about nurturing talent as such, but there's a point lacking to it whereby there's not much student involvement. Yeah, so it does not reach out to the students as it was supposed to initially. It has become more of an inside thing.
School, church, friends, family, friends, to be able to nurture, draw out the talent that this child has, so that they grow up identifying them.
Indeed, psychology plays an important role in the nurturing and the growth of someone's talent. But before that, one has to identify, they have to practice, and even so they have to get mentorship for the growth of their talent.
We have platforms where students can showcase their talents. For example, we recently launched Daystar Talanta, and this is an event that will be done regularly so that we invite students who are talented in various ways to come and showcase their talents. And apart from Daystar Talanta, we also have other events. We hold gala nights and we look for people who can showcase. We have other forums where we invite students, like we have Culture Week, we have Clubs and Associations Week, and all these are forums that are put there, they are established so that people can come and showcase their talents.
Well, you've heard it all. And as Von Gott says, talent can't be taught. However, it can be awakened. Reporting for the Real Base Show, my name is Ruth Sarum.
Welcome back. I am your host Miriam Mongoi, and thanks to our reporter Ruth Samuel for the comprehensive report about Daystar Talanta. With me here is Stefan Wendwa, yes, the Secretary General of Daystar University and one of the founders of Daystar Talanta. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us more about Daystar Talanta.
Daystar Talanta was actually a brainchild of one Telewa, who is a student doing communication in Daystar University, and it was supposed to be a platform for comedians to showcase their talent, to just grow, but we thought that we should include all the artistically talented students other than the comedian.
So, what makes it unique, like from any other club here in school?
The fact that it's not a club requiring your time and commitment, it just requires your discipline and participation in specific events. And it's a platform that will give students to grow through mentorship, through performance.
I spoke to some of the students and they're clueless about this at Atlanta. So what's your view in that, and do you think you have done much publicity about this at Atlanta?
Okay, so we understand that creating awareness is a process. We need to work on it, and we are still trying to create awareness to spread the word out there. It's taken a while, but with time we'll have spread the word not only in Daystar University but even created links with other universities.
In some of your events, they play secular music, and as religious leaders, you're supposed to nurture spiritual growth. So I don't understand why you're playing secular music in such shows.
Well, to answer your question, it's not some of your events, it's only one event that we had secular music played, and it was because of an issue of miscommunication that was made, and which is normal when you're doing an event for the first time. And we sat down with the DCF team and the DUSA team and talked about the issue, and the problem was identified, and it's something that won't happen again.
As the founder of Daystar Atlanta, you have promised students to hook them up with the producers and to take them for school visit. So far, what have you done?
So far we have been able to work on different projects, keeping in mind that we have the normal DUSA duties that we have. So we don't always have all the time to work on Daystar Atlanta, but we have dedicated so much time to it. As for now, we're trying to create links with different people and different groups. So far we had a talk with Talanta Mtaani. They are having an initiative to give back to society. So we are still trying to create a link with them and try to bring out the best out of Daystar talent to perform in those shows and create a link. We are having talks with eSounds, who have a DJing academy, to try and enroll our students who are DJs, but at a subsidized price, so that they get to get the skill and get the qualifications to be DJs. We're also talking to other people, personalities, Eric Omondi, Mr. T. We are trying to create links with the people. So far we have we've created a rapport with, to try and bring their services into Daystar University in a way that our talent can take part and grow through their platforms.
DJ competition, you had not even communicated to the DJs that they're supposed to play any gospel music. So how did you expect them to know some of this information if you are not communicating?
The issue was an issue of miscommunication. It was not something that we said we will have to do. We had some sittings to discuss the issue, and we ironed out issues, and in the future the events will be very defined.
Is it right to make decisions without informing the people you work with? Is it really right?
I would say that in any institution or group whereby you're working with people with different characters and personalities, it's bound for people to disagree or maybe have some communication barrier, which is normal. But as a group you grow. The reason why we have the committees, because not only to serve the students but also to grow their ability to do leadership. So it's a process of growth.
What is the future of Daystar Atlanta?
We are targeting to be an entertainment, not only entertainment but talent-based group that is going to impact not only Daystar University but Kenya as a country. And we are looking forward to Daystar Atlanta being the next Churchill, being the next Talanta Mtaani, having a big platform for talented students to grow.
For your time, and continue doing whatever you do with Daystar Atlanta. Yes. We decided to take views of students on the streets to know what they think about Daystar Atlanta.
Hi, my name is Grace, and today we are asking students, and the question of the day is, if you're given 10 million shillings, you choose between your talent and 10 million shillings, which one would you choose? And I'm going to talk to students here.
Hi, well, if I was to choose between the two, I'd prefer the talent, because in that way I would work as hard as I can because I know it's
But the greatest
part of
highlight
me,
was
and I'll make sure I make even more than 10 million.
As for me, I'll take the money. Yeah, there's so many people who have the same talent as you, so just take the money and make profit out of it.
Yeah, thank you. You've heard from them, and I was your reporter, Grace.
Yeah, got the weight of the world on my shoulders, but I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Just put your arms around me, it'll get better, and I'll be alright. 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 I'll be alright.
On to a business episode, we focused on the rental equipment business, where we focused on how to begin a rental equipment business, how to maintain it, the advantages and disadvantages of having a rental equipment business. We spoke to experts, and we also spoke to students to give us their views.
Rental equipment business, technically known as operating lease, is a short-term agreement that allows the use of an asset but does not convey ownership of the same asset. But do people really understand the meaning of rental equipment business and how it works? Startup costs can be very high depending on the type of product and equipment that you purchase for rent. However, you can minimize cost by purchasing this item in a good condition second-hand.
I think I've had a great experience with leasing. It's cheap. It provides you the content immediately that maybe you don't want to you don't have the cash, but you want to experience what is being offered right there and then. It's a wonderful opportunity.
So leasing, there's a long-term lease which goes beyond 5 years and above, and there's a short-term lease. So the long-term lease is called the finance lease. The short-term is called the operating lease. So rental is more or less like operating lease, whereby the asset belongs to the owner, he maintains it, he repairs it, he takes care of the risks and rewards of the asset. That belongs to the owner, like the owner of a house, you're a landlord and you're a tenant. But in a long-term lease, it's like you own the asset, only that you haven't paid in full. So your periodic rental charges, which you pay to the owner of the asset, it's like you're buying it by installment. So much so that by the end of the asset's life, the owner doesn't have use for it. It will be too old and you just need to get another one.
The rental equipment business is advantageous to the owner, for there is constant cash flow. But the downside of it is the high risk incurred in terms of damage.
The equipment may be broken down at the process of using it, and that may lead you to incur costs because the one who owns the product wants you to repair, or maybe he doesn't want to incur the cost of maintenance. So it makes it to be a quite difficult business idea. But it's a good concept though. It's helping develop the economy, and business-wise, it's not a very bad idea to venture in.
Starting a business is one thing, maintaining is another. And as Dr. Chosang has said, for you to be successful in the rental equipment business, you must study your market, insure your assets, and take into consideration the risks involved in starting your own business. I am reporting for the Real Base Show. My name is John Masinde.
Thanks to our reporter for the comprehensive report about the rental equipment business. And right now, I've been joined by Kislev, a very well-renowned DJ, also a bee farmer. He's also a student here at Daystar University, and he also rents equipments. Thank you, Kislev, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
So we want to know, what kind of equipments do you rent out?
Like in a normal situation, I can hire out anything, but for now I have lights, sound, and decks.
Why the rental business?
I think it's better because it's much easier when you don't have stock that is sleeping. Stock that is sleeping basically means you don't have dead stock. So anytime you have equipment that is being hired, it means it's also generating income, even if you're not using it for certain long. So definitely comparing to a shop, I mean a shop you can close today,
tomorrow you will not sell anything. You will not sell anything. But for me, if I hire decks today, I don't need a base, I don't need a station, and besides, there's always that one person who will always want it.
How did you start out? Because for this rental equipment business, you need to acquire these goods. How did you start out?
Well, I thank my dad because my dad was my main sponsor. So he gave me some equipment, bought for me some for my own use, but for me, I converted that now to a business.
So where is your shop located, or how do you sell?
It's not a shop, it's just from my house.
And if you have a shop, it brings more credibility.
Not really. In the business that I am in, you don't really need a shop. If you look, most sound technicians, most sound companies do not need.
But that's to say, even if I was told to go buy an equipment, and then I'm told to go to a certain shop and buy that equipment, I'd want to go to a shop where I'm saying it's legit, so that I know whatever goods I'm getting or whatever equipment I'm getting, it's something that is credible. So, are there any concerns that your customers have raised concerning that?
Nah, not really. Because it's not buying, it's renting. So they rent out what they see. They don't rent out what they come into contact with for the first time. You don't need a shop for renting. Sometimes, especially with sound, you don't really need a shop. You just need some place where they can access easily. And besides the point, it's not a buy, you're renting. You only rent something that you see.
How do you service your equipment?
I do that every 3 months. But sometimes also depending on the kind of work, like for example, if I hire decks to go for a 24-hour gig, I'll have to make sure that I've serviced it properly, because you never know the extent at which people are using it. But normally 3 months is good.
But sometimes maybe you rent out, there's an event at the amphitheater, and you rented out the lights, and at some point the lights were bringing some trouble.
Yeah.
So when such a thing occurs, what do you do? And it's needed urgently by the customer.
In that case, what I always do is, before I hire out lights, I always like seeing the place and knowing how exactly I can maneuver. When I encounter such a problem, I always have a backup. My backup is I have someone who understands them. It's like sort of, let's say, an engineer. So someone who understands them, knows what could be the problem, and immediately troubleshoots. Worst case scenario, I'd have to outsource.
What are some of do you sign any agreement when you're giving someone your equipment?
That is how it's supposed to be. But of course, there are people who are my friends who hire.
But your friends can run away with your equipment.
Yeah, but it's someone I know, someone I've not just worked with for the first time. So it's not really a problem. But if you are a new customer, be sure you do a lot of paperwork.
So what are the challenges do you face?
Mainly, let's say like 2 challenges. Number 1, payment. Like for example, I have a client who's never, 3 months down the line, I'm still waiting for a check. Has not been signed, or the finance officer has not been there. Back and forth, back and forth. So I really, in this business per se, we don't like people who operate with checks. And if they operate with checks, then let it be ready. Upon delivery, the check is also delivered. Because what happens is they delay and take time. They have to process the money first, then do the check. So that creates a lot of delay. Because if you are to service the equipment, you see now you are ready. They process the check. Immediately, I deliver, they hand me the check. So that is also something I've learned in the process. Second thing is, of course, most clients do not value equipment per se. So once they're done with it, it's done. They don't take care of them. They don't protect them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I hope your business continues thriving.
Yes, and you can also hire my lights next time.
Okay.
I also have cameras.
Oh.
Yeah.
And finally, on to a politics segment, we focused on the 2016 Universities Amendment Act. We spoke to students who gave us their views, and also to experts who helped us understand the electoral college system. Here are some of the interesting parts on the political scene.
The 2016 University Amendment Act was recently signed into law by His Excellency Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. This act was meant to transform the election processes and systems in universities. But do students and faculty understand? And if they do they even agree to it?
Some of the laws introduced into the Act are: elections will be conducted by the electoral colleges. Only 7 officials will be recognized by the electoral college system, that is, the chairperson, the vice chair, the secretary general, treasurer, and 3 other members to represent special interest of students. The chairperson and the vice chair will be of opposite gender, and 2/3 of the members should be of the same gender. The student council can hold office for a maximum of 2 one-year terms.
Sometimes bureaucracy is good, you see, and because having one student as the president over several governments makes it a little bit tricky because, I mean, look at our president, you know, he might not be knowing the issues concerning a certain county because you know, the certain county perhaps has not been there for like a year, you see. Now, that applies to each and every college, you see. If we have a president for, it's easy to sway, it is easy to sway one person, not to sway 2 people.
Governance of elections. It is not, even currently, it can't be the best system because number one, students are not actually enlightened on the importance of this. They are not actually told the formula of how delegates will be selected. They might accuse the administration of selecting individuals who will go and vote on their favor. And by not doing so or not enlightening them, it will be a danger. It will even leave a question of legitimacy to the incoming student regime. So my advice could be, for now, we put it aside, considering the elections are just a few months away, so that we actually have a forum where students will have to participate, the students have to give their inputs before implementation. But currently it can't be there.
According to the Act, the electoral colleges will be formed based on the institution's departments and faculties. The students from each electoral college will elect 3 representatives who will elect the student council members within 30 days of election.
The first reason as why I'm saying it's a good idea is because having one student government gives that opportunity for people to deal with issues together. Like now we have 2 different campuses having 2 different leaders. It's hard for them to push for a certain idea together, yet this is one campus. But also the challenge comes in when it comes to students learning. Because now when you are a leader, maybe in both campuses, it affects your academics because you'll be needed. You'll be needed most of the time in maybe both campuses. Maybe there might be issues in both campuses that you may not be able to solve at the same time. So that's a challenge that may come. But the bigger picture is a good idea and I support it. But in terms of implementation, there must be a very good involvement and engagement with students in order to hear their version of what they think should be done.
Yeah, well, from where I sit, I would have really loved a democratically elected government. Because things, the voice of the people would have been very well communicated. When you use a college, well, people can manipulate it and make sure that people in the college are the right people, so that they elect the right person. I think Kenya has gone through a lot of democratization. And to me, I would have been of the opinion that we form good laws that will still make it a direct vote for the people.
Martin Luther once said that democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But if democracy is stripped off from the people, what is left for the system? Reporting for the Real Base Show, my name is Mary Zawad.
Hi, my name is Ndolo. I'm the citizen journalist of the day. And as you can see, I am in an amphitheater at Daystar University. So basically, I've just come to find out whether having a student government is okay or it's not okay. So I'm going to get opinions from two different individuals. So let me start with the first individual.
I don't think having a joint student government for different campuses is okay because different campuses have unique issues, and I think it will be better placed to have a different set of individuals to deal with it. So I don't think it's a good idea. I think what has been happening should continue, and this new system should not be implemented.
Okay, you have had it. Okay, let's go to the next person.
I don't think having a joint government is really good for campuses because I think each campus tends to have a cultural structure of its own that if we tend to disrupt somehow by joining various campuses, it won't really work.
Okay guys, so there you have it, straight from Daystar University. I'm your journalist, Ndolo. Bye.
Thanks to you, our viewers, for walking with us in this amazing journey. It has been a great season, and we'd like to see you next season for much bigger and greater stuff. So I've been your host, Miriam Mongoi, and this is The Real Show. And finally, onto our politics and finally, onto our politics
That allows the use of an asset.
Ukinote kichwa. Good end.
So tell me how was
So, and I bet you experienced this because when you began, when you were vying for your chair, also your I don't know, is she making me nervous? Varsity is hit hard by the low enrollment of students for the 20. Nitakonyoa. Apole. 1, 2, on your magoro, 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you for staying tuned, and for more info.
Oh, then I stand there. How's that?
No.
Yeah, right there.
There.
But that one is. Remember this one?
The hustle, Wanyonyi atupe A sisi wote. We all deserve it. Angalia watu wakifanya kazi. Your alternative news show will be bringing you news that is upless and person.
Thank you for tuning in, and on today's episode. According to the Act, the electoral colleges will be formed based on the institution's departments and faculties. The students from each electoral college will elect 3 representatives who will elect the student council members within 30 days of election. And for more information concerning the show,
Twende guys, Just pass. There is no problem.
Pass, no problem. Thanks for staying tuned. And as a scholar once said, the world must set a foundation.
Hiya, you want to fall down?
Thanks for staying tuned.
Twende.
1, 2, 3, to the last one. Thanks for staying tuned. And as a scholar once said, the world must be safe for democracy, and peace must be planted on the tested foundation of political liberty. I've been your host, Miriam Mongoli, and if you want to get more information concerning today's show, please follow us on our social media pages on the screen.
See you in the next episode.
Or see you next time, same place, same time. Actually, I think ngoja nimejua kwenye nasema. Namaliza, thank you for staying tuned to the show. And for more information concerning the show, follow us on our social media.
That one, you've already said it well.
I said if
you want to restart it again.
Thank you for staying tuned. And for more information concerning the show, follow us on our social media pages on the screen. And I'll leave you the. And as a scholar, I'll leave you. And as a scholar once said, nifanye hiyo nini. So see you next time, same place, same time. Aya, kai nini yako inaanza?
It's already 3. No, tunafaa kwanza 3:30 and we're supposed to. Yeah.
Thank you for staying tuned to the show. And thank you for staying tuned to the show. Thank you for staying tuned to the show. And as a scholar once said, nimeanza hivyo. Thank you for staying tuned to the show.
Usikuje mbele sana. Hapo uko sawa hapo eh.
Thank you for staying tuned to the show. And for more information concerning today's episode, follow us on our social media pages and drop a comment on the show.
Niko na shida ya kungoa. Haya, twende.
Haya, 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you for staying tuned today. Just pass. Thank you for staying tuned today. And for more information concerning today's show, follow us on our social media pages on the screen. And I will leave you the word from a scholar.
Umeharibu frame. Usikuje mbele tena. Hebu? Okay, sawa. Let go.
Thank you for staying tuned to the show. And for more information contact.
Unaona hapo, usisonge beyond that line. Don't songa beyond that line. Haya, twende.
Thank you for staying tuned to the show. And for more information concerning today's show, follow us on our social media pages on the screen. And I will give you the word from a scholar. The world must protect democracy, and peace must be planted on the. The world must protect democracy, and peace must be planted on the tested foundation of political liberty. Stay tuned. See you next time, same day, same time.
Rudisha hiyo. See you next time in our next episode where we will be focusing on.
See you next time
on our next episode. Hivyo tu. Yeah.
We'll be focusing on business.
Twende.
Thank you for staying tuned. Mrs. Sonia?
Unaweza songa kidogo. Rudi nyuma ndio usonge. Fikia hapo Okay, twende.
Thank you for staying tuned and for more information concerning today's show, follow us on our social media pages on the screen. And as a scholar once said, the world must keep democracy safe, and peace must be planted on the tested foundation of political liberty. See you next time on our next episode on business. I've been your host, Miriam Mongoli.
Well, Miriam, hebu sign out. No, sign out too. Just sign out. Just say, I don't know. I think.
Thank you for staying tuned. And for more information concerning today's show, follow us on our social media pages. Thank you for staying tuned. And for more information concerning today's show, Follow us on our social media pages. And as a scholar once said, the world must protect democracy and peace must be planted on the tested waters of political liberty. I've been your host, William Ngolo, and see you next time on our next episode. Have a nice day.